Assalamu alaikum grade 7. This is your lecture of Oxford Progressive English. Today we are going to study chapter number 3 in unit number 6. Chapter number 2 is not included in our syllabus, so you will open your books at page number 153. We are going to start chapter number 3. Friends, chapter number 3 is a travel writing. It means that the writer talks about his travel experiences. On his travel, the writer went to West Africa, where he meets a fishing baboon. Baboon is a type of monkey, and the writer meets a baboon who is fishing in the rivers, and the writer talks about that baboon. So friends, let's move towards a summary of this chapter, because the proper reading of this chapter will be done in online lecture. Unit 6 lesson chapter 3 The Fishing Baboon Summary. In this story, the writer talks about the behavioral change in a baboon, a monkey. The writer meets this baboon in a fishing area where the baboon was just like an angry bird who remained angry all the time. But suddenly, after one night when they cross a dangerous bridge during a trip, baboon's behavior is totally changed. He becomes mild and starts to catch fish when they are on the boat. In this way, the behavior of the baboon, who is called Lowell, is changed. So friends, the writer talks about the change in the behavior of a baboon. The writer shows us a moral lesson that even the animals can change their behavior. Even the animals turn good from bad. The baboon was angry at first with everyone. He was haughty. He didn't care about anyone. But then his behavior is changed and he becomes mild and happy. Even he starts to help people by catching the fish, and the people of the village respect him very much. So the writer wants to talk here, if an animal can change his behavior, why can't we? Because we are the human beings, the crown of nature, so we must think about it. Now move towards the words meanings of this chapter. Open your notebooks and start to write. Number 1, baboon, large monkey with dog-like face. Number 2, swamp, marshy land. Number 3, distrust, want of trust. Number 4, murkiness, darkness. Number 5, horrendous, horrifying. Friends, now you will open your books at page number 156, because we are going to solve reading for understanding. We will solve first 5 questions, so open your notebooks and start to write. Reading for understanding. Question number 1. Why didn't Lowell go far from the side of Dorothy and the writer? Friends, Dorothy is the name of the owner of baboon and Lowell is the nickname of baboon. So the question is, why didn't Lowell go far from the side of Dorothy and the writer? Lowell never went out of the sight because he had spent most of his time in human company and he was afraid of the animals hiding in the bushes. Question 2. Describe the different ways in which Lowell went along. Answer. He went along on all fours, spraying water in all directions. Where water became shallow, he swam with a doggy paddling stroke. Question 3. Explain how the floating bridge worked. Why was it a horrendous crossing for the writer? Answer. It consisted of a narrow line of long, thin wooden poles. As one stepped on it, the poles sank beneath the surface. The poles were slippery. There was nothing to get a hold on. Water was murky and darkness was all around. All these factors made it a horrendous crossing for the writer. Question 4. In paragraph 3, which word tells you that Lowell was usually a loathsome animal? Answer. The word odious tells us that Lowell was usually a loathsome animal. Question 5. How did Lowell behave when he was by the river? And how did this behavior compare with how he usually was? Answer. When he was by the river, he sat patiently and waited for his turn to be fed. He even allowed the children to rub his back. As compared to his usual behavior, he was likable near the river. Friends, you will write these question answers in your notebooks and learn them. Friends, now open your books at page number 155. We are going to solve exercises. Vocabulary. Match the words from the text in the left hand column to their definitions in the right hand column. So, in the left hand column are the words and in the right hand column are their definitions. We are going to match them. Number 1 is venturing, daring to explore. Number 2, innate, instinctive. Number 3, murkiness, darkness. Number 4, petrified, terrified. Number 5, teeming, swarming. Number 6, bait, lure. Number 7, embedded, fixed. Number 8, retorted, answered sharply. Number 9, ludicrous, ridiculous. Number 10, exemplary, perfect. Friends, we will match these words with their definitions on your books and learn this exercise. Now open your books at page number 158. We are going to learn the difference between adapt, adopt and adapt. Adapt has been used in paragraph 4. It is an adjective. It means skilled, expert, practiced. A person who is skilled in some art is called adept. And adopt is a verb. It means to take on. For example, a child, a course of action or behavior. Adapt is also a verb. It means become accustomed to. For example, a new way of life, to change. So friends, these are the differences between adapt, adopt and adapt. Now we are going to fill these gaps on the next page by using these words. Fill in the gaps in the following sentences with adapt, adopt or adapt as appropriate. Number 1. It was extraordinary to see a baboon who was adept at fishing. Number 2. Mr. and Mrs. Simons had no children of their own and very much wanted to adopt a baby girl. Number 3. I am not very adept at carpentry and thing I make seems to fall apart. Number 4. Not all new mothers find it easy to adapt to motherhood. Number 5. Nigel is going to adapt his car so that it will run on diesel rather than petrol. Number 6. Know that you are living in Pakistan. I expect you will adopt their way of life. Friends, we will solve this exercise on your books and learn it. Allah Hafiz.